your test right now. Juniors, the water is yours.
Your test.
Juniors,
right
the
now.
water is yours.
Your
You'll get
test
one lap
right
of
now.
test. One lap of test. Pull in. As soon as you're done with your one lap of test, we want you to pull in and turn around. And we're going to send you for your 3-minute gun. So let's go, juniors. Right now. That schedule's going to change, though. That schedule's going to change, Rick. That schedule's going to change. That schedule's changed. Yes. So let's give you our lineup for our juniors. We have Garrett Tepper coming all the way from Boise, Idaho. Maureen Girth, Disc Flow, and BitPro sponsored entry out of San Diego, California in the 23. And out of Garden Grove, California on the 15, it's Gavin Evans. Those are our three competitors for our junior hydroplanes. Juniors, the water is yours. Let's go.
Number 84, order up. Number 84.
Also, race teams, if you haven't filled out a press sheet, please send a representative up here and fill one out so that we can announce your sponsors properly. If you want your sponsors announced, if you want your team announced over the PA and the World Wide Web. Oh, who's on the course right now? Stop. River closure, head to the beach. We have boats on the course right now. No wake speed. Stay right where you're at. Just stop where you're at. Stop right now. Stop where you're at. River closure, stop. River closure, stop.
All river closure boats, stop where you're at.
River closure boats do not enter the course until I say stop. Stop where you're at, river closure. Stop. They can't hear it. River closure, when we have boats on the course, you cannot come onto the course until you let me know. These guys will crash.
Test, test, test. So 1, 2, check, check 1, 2.
Juniors, you should be fueling and ready to go. As soon as we get river closure in position, we should be ready to start you. All right, juniors, let's get to the water line. Turn them around. Juniors, get to the water line. Turn them around. We're getting ready to send you on your 3-minute clock for the start of your first heat. There's 3. Juniors, your 3-minute starts now. Water's yours, juniors. Water's yours. Your 3-minute gun has started. Juniors, the water is yours. The water is yours. Your 3-minute has started. This race, I'm going to buy a whole case again. So we're all set. All right, we're coming up on the start. For those that don't know about clock starts, there is a digital clock that's counting down right here in front of where the scorers are. From 1 minute down to 0, 60 seconds down to 0. The 2 white buoys create a start-finish line. Right now, all the drivers are legal because they did not cross the start-finish line before the clock hit 0. So we got a good race. The 23 of Maureen Girth on the outside, Gavin Evans on the inside, Garrett Tepper in the 3rd spot. So we got a battle for first place going into turn 1 at the top of the river. As they're coming around this 3-pin turn, Gavin, your leader. Maureen in the 2nd spot. And the 3rd spot, coming all the way from Boise, Idaho, is Garrett Tepper. Age for the drivers start out at 10 years old, and they can run all the way up till they're 16 in the junior hydroplane class. So 10 to 16. It's for new drivers to hone their skills. Drivers are on their knees in these outboard hydroplane boats, sportsman limited hydroplanes, Mercury motors or Evinrude Johnson 14.9 cubic inch fishing motors that have been converted into race motors. Speeds in the high 40s, low 50 mile an hour range. As they come through, there's 1 lap complete. These are 3-lap sprints. As we were saying, the driver, they try to fly these hydroplanes down the straightaway. Gavin moving to the middle of the boat, towards the back of the boat, try to pack as much air underneath it. He's your leader. Maureen doing the same. She's an honor roll student out of San Diego, California, along with Garrett Tepper in the 3rd spot. And then when they go to the turn, they scoot up to the front of the boat and lean over the left side to help the boat slide around the turn. That's what they're trying to do. Maureen gets a little loose going into that turn, but she's doing a great job. As the white flag is out, we will have 1 more lap to go. For these 3 youngsters, they're going to come in, we're going to fuel them, we're going to turn them around, and we're going to get them ready to go again for their final. The reason we do this is these are our juniors. We give them the good water, the good flat, calm water early in the morning. Helps them learn how to race boats. Weight is such an important factor with these boats, so if there's too much wind or too much wake out there, well, these boats tend to like to go pop over. But we're not going to have that today. So checkered flag getting ready to come out for Gavin Evans as he comes around the turn down at the Headgate Dam turn, which is turn 2. Maureen Girth doing a tremendous job driving for Grandpa Disc Flow and Mom and Dad Christensen. So Gavin takes the win. Maureen will finish in the 2nd spot for this is heat number 1. Here comes Garrett Tepper in the 3rd spot. And that'll complete heat number 1. All right. All you parents of these junior hydroplane drivers. Yes, sir. While we're waiting for the Jays to get the junior hydroplanes to get ready to go again, we're going to we'll let the SST 45s know that they only have to run the 3 pins. That's turn 1 right here past the judges stand, and then the 2 pins down at the end. They do not have to run, just like Bakersfield drivers, you don't have to run the apex pin. You won't get penalized if you do, but you don't have to run that apex pin of the turn down by Headgate Dam. That's only for SST 45. Once again, only for SST 45. have river closure. We gave them radios. Just have them call course control to say, river closure, course control. We have a boat that wants to come through, and then we'll let them know when they can proceed. Okay. Yeah, they're just gonna have to wait a couple beats. Okay. All right. Juniors, you should be in the water turned around. You should be ready to go. Juniors, let's go. All right, juniors.
Number 74,
Why not?
order up. 75.
Oh, no, they're getting
44,
ready.
order up. 44.
Troy, are those other juniors ready to go? All right, here we go, juniors. The next sound you hear is your 3-minute gun. You're gonna have to work a little fast.
17, order up. 17. 75, order up. Number 44.
All right, we're going to bring in the juniors. We have a boat dead in the corner, so we cannot start this race with them. Are they?
39, order up. Number 39. Turn off that clock.
Is that no way? Is he good? All right, juniors, here we go again. All right, here we go. Final heat of junior hydroplane underway. 3 competitors again. Gavin Evans, coming from Garden Grove, California. Maureen Girth and Garrett Tepper. So it's a little bit of a repeat from heat number 1.
Number 3, order up. Number 3.
Actually, Maureen is your leader right now. I apologize. Got confused with the gray boats out there.
Number 32.
Somehow or another, those
Final
numbers
heat of
on Maureen's boat not as legible as they kind of should be, but, you know, apologize for your announcer's mistake. Leah. Oh, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. Just kidding. No, your leader. There she is, Maureen Girth. Your leader. The second spot, Gavin Evans and Garrett Tepper. So not a repeat of heat number one, as Maureen has swapped with Gavin Evans. Boat looking faster. So maybe they did a prop change between heats. Whatever they did, it seems to be working very well. These boats have to weigh 335 pounds, boat, motor, and driver. So when they come out, they'll go weigh, check to make sure they're not running any illegal fuel because, you know, they could be running some real high-test stuff out there. But they're doing a great job. These are our juniors. This is the future of our sport out on the water right now. As they come around. Later today, you'll see the fastest flat bottoms in the country, if not the world, with the K-Racing runabouts at over speeds upwards of 150 miles an hour. So quite a range of speed. As the white flag flies for Maureen, all right, 45s. You should be in the water turned around. 45s. Let's get to in the water turned around. This is the final lap for the juniors, and then you guys will be up. And 45s will be running just the short course. Just the short course, and you only have to run the 2 buoys down and turn 2. You do not have to run all 3 buoys in turn 2. As they come around, Maureen Gorth, Christensen, Bit Pros, Disc Flow sponsored entry out of San Diego, California. Sorry, everybody. Your announcer's having a heck of a time reading numbers out there. These numbers just, I think I see it. Oh, it is. It's 23C. Followed by Gavin Evans. 15C, finishing in the second spot. And our young Garrett Tepper taking the checkered flag in the 94C. So that'll conclude our junior hydroplanes. SST 45s, as soon as they clear, the water is yours. Flat bottoms, and cracker boxes. You'll be up after the 45s. Then
Number 88. Order up. Number 88.
Can we let a couple spectator boats go through?
hang for 5 more minutes. Let me get the 45s out of the way before we put the flat bottoms in the way. Copy? All right, here we go. 45s, this is your test. 45s, this is your test. Short course rescue. All right, on the water right now, Colin Cross, Spencer Love. These are SST 45. We call them Formula Light tunnel boats. And you have number 25, that's RJ West out of Manteca, California. West Brothers Racing, Skelton Racing. Then the 44, that's Colin Cross driving the boat built by RJ West and formerly campaigned by him. Mark Haliak driving for Bill Ryder and Ryder Racing Team out of Tustin, California. The 18, that's Jared Wallach. Clover Construction, Jet Renew sponsored entry out of Redondo Beach, California. We're waiting for Spencer Love. I think he might be going testing today. This is just practice. They're going to do a couple minutes of practice before we turn the flat bottoms loose for their practice session. Once again, if you're a spectator but you're hanging in the pits with your family, please come up to the cantina, sign the waiver. It doesn't cost anything. Sign the waiver and get the wristband. That helps all of us. So please come on up to the cantina. See lovely Wanda, lovely Melissa. If you're looking for a souvenir t-shirt for this 70th running of the Thanksgiving Regatta, 70 years of Southern California Speedboat Club racing right here on the river. This year's race is presented by Nick Rose Insurance, Ecology Auto Parts, Amsoil Twins and their family of products, Rex Marine, Jet Renew and the family of polishes and cleaning products, and hotboat.com. We want to thank all our sponsors. And for those visiting on the World Wide Web, we hope you enjoy today's race festivities, all the race action. We want to thank Surf Rat, Ashley, and Jeff Arganda for making this possible, the live stream broadcast. As we're waiting for, I think one more SST 45 to come in. So RJ West coming in as Clover Construction owner, team owner, and president. Spencer Love getting ready to go in the water. But there's the 19. That's Mark Haliak, the driver, driving for Bill Ryder Racing in this Formula Light tunnel boat. These are Evinrude or Johnson two-cylinder racing motors, 44.9 cubic inches, so 45 cubic inch motors. Any three-blade racing propeller, speeds in the high 70s, low 80 mile an hour range. They'll run a very short course compared to the flat bottoms and what you saw just previously with the junior hydroplanes. That's about a mile and an eighth to a mile and a quarter course. The 45s will run a 7/8 of a mile course. These are sprint cars on the water. Tunnel boats like to fly down the straightaway, pack the air down the center of the pod. When they go into the turn, the driver trims the motor in, takes away the air, and able to turn the boats, pulling upwards of 3 Gs on single pin turns. So some of the hardest turning equipment there is on the water, tunnel boats. All right, so now on the course, the 24, that's Spencer Love. Jared Wallach in the, we call it the moving buoy. It's painted the color of a buoy. All orange. That's the Clover Construction sponsored entry, number 18. Spencer's out of Santa Rosa, California. Jared is out of Redondo Beach. Colin Cross coming from Northern California, along with the 25 of RJ West coming from Manteca, California. So you see the boats go in and slam the turn. That's due to the setup of the tunnel boat. Down the straightaway, they're able to fly the boats, but in the turn, they take all the air away and they're able to turn like it's on rails. Unfortunately, I think Mark Haliak may be having a problem. So at the conclusion of this test session, we'll bring him in. Two minutes, Brian. 2 minutes. Otherwise, they're just making laps. Flat bottoms. You'll be up next. We're going to let some river traffic go through. So as soon as the 45's clear and we get Mark under tow, Larry, you got to... Larry, did you copy that? As we're in the waning moments of this test session, this practice session, as we get ready to turn loose the flat bottoms for their practice session. Well, looks like Mark got it running. So here comes the 24 of Spencer, the 18 of Jared Wallach. And we'll bring the rest of them in right now. As soon as the boat's clear, we'll go ahead and let the river traffic through. So we're going to wait till these boats clear, and then we'll let the river traffic through. All right, white flag comes out. This is it for the practice session. This will be it for the practice session. Last lap. White flag is out. So we need all tunnel boat drivers brought back in. So Colin Cross getting used to that new boat that the driver right behind him built. The number 25 built that number 44 boat. That's Composite Craft Boats out of Manteca, California. Very affordable tunnel boat racing. Black flag is out. Black flag is out. As they're coming in. All right, river closure and marina closure, you can go ahead and let river traffic through. River closure and marina closure, you can let river traffic through. Tell them to please expedite. Thank you. River closure. Tell them.
Number one, order up. Number one.
All right, here we go. Yes.
Gotta get the flat bottom.
Go ahead. He's Ross. Yeah, 10-4, Mike. The crackers can go with the only ones that we're going to keep separate are the K-boats. Copy? Just let them know they're only going to get 2 or 3 laps. That's it. Flat bottoms, flat bottoms. You're only going to get 2 or 3 laps, and that's it for your practice session.
Order up. Number 13.
All right. All right, let's get the 45s off the ramp so that the flat bottoms can get in, please. Just hang on, flat bottoms. We've got some rollers on the course. Well, spectators on the island, we need you back at least 15 feet from the water line. Spectators on the island, we need you back about 15 feet from the water line, please. Thank you. Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you very much. No, we're good. All right, Brian, what do you think? All right, flat bottoms. Water's yours. The water's yours for practice. Practice is now. K-boats, K-boats, let's get you to the water. K-boats, then comp jets. K-boats, then comp jets, then Grand Nationals. All right, we're back. All right, we're getting ready to finish up with practice for the flat bottoms. Then we'll have the K racing runabouts. So flat bottom practice is coming to a conclusion right now. So coming up next are the K-Boat, their practice, then the Comp Jets, then the Grand Nationals. Then we'll go into our first heat of race action. A-Stock Hydro, you'll be a first heat up, followed by Classic Endurance. All right, K-Boats, water's yours. K-Boat, water is yours. Comp Jets, you'll be next, followed by the Grand Nationals, and that'll conclude practice. All right, the ear-splitting 150 plus mile an hour K-Racing runabouts hitting the water right now for their practice session. Blown alcohol sprint boats. Johnny Guthrie in the 16, coming from Lake Havasu, and coming from Stuart, Florida, in the 999, the boat called El Cid, owned by Mike Stock, the driver, Duff Daly. The 401k may be going out as well. That's the owner, Doug Lindsay. Tyler Roth driving, but Tyler may have just come out of another boat. They're going to warm the motors up before they start. So we have the third K-boat going in right now. So currently holding the world record for in the flying kilometer, the fastest K-boat, the 999, at 152 miles an hour. Just set the speed record. So getting ready to turn it loose is Duff Daly. As he comes around turn 2. And now mashes the gas. Here we go. Johnny Guthrie heads in the turn. Tyler Roth warming up the 401k. They'll be coming up a little later in our program. Compjets, you should be at the water line. Let's go, Compjets. Let's get to the water line right now. As Johnny Guthrie comes in. Don't forget your souvenir shirts, hats. Go see lovely Wanda and Melissa. Get them before they're gone. Next time by for Tyler Roth, we'll see the black flag come out. Testing will be over for the K-boats. Compjets, you'll have 2 laps. Compjets, you'll have 2 laps. This is the Mark Junker Memorial Race. So the Compjets will be running for the Mark Junker Memorial Trophy. So they'll start their practice session next, and then a little later in the afternoon, we'll see them come out. Actually, a little later in the morning. Black flag is now out. Comp jet should be in the water, turned around. Grand Nationals, start making your way to the ramps. GN, start making your way to the ramps. Oh, yeah. Comp Jets, water's yours. 2 laps. Let's go. Let's go, gentlemen. Comp Jets, the water is yours. 2 laps. 10-4. Let's get them in the water as quickly as possible. Remember, drivers, race teams, you got to have spotters when you're backing up. So make sure you have spotters when you're backing up. You know. Let me stop. Let me stop. All right, Comp Jets, the water's yours. Grand Nationals, start making your way to the ramps if you want to go practice. So for today's Comp Jet session, we have driving for Sherl Dickey in the boat number 60. It's Lance Nichols. Actually, it's Ron Lund out of Aguilla, Arizona. Sun City, the owner, the driver, Harold Bruce, driving Mark Yunker in memory of for Kelsey and Kendall Yunker. Harold Bruce Jr. So driving for Kelsey and Kendall Yunker. It's the 169 driven by the legend Harold Bruce. The 222, Harold Bruce Jr. driving for Terry Valori. The 288, Toby Clark driving for Roger Finney out of Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Vance Lund in the 511 driving for Ron Lund against his father today. He's out of Valley Center. Brian Neal driving for Ken Neal and Terry Valori in the 21. And Jim Rich, the owner, and Amanda Rich, the driver, in the 72. All right, last call, Comp Jets. If you're not in the water right now, we're going to be moving on to Grand Nationals. So let's get you in without delay. All right. As we're finishing up, we have one more comp check going in right now. Then the Grand Nationals. Grand Nationals, let's get you in the water and turned around right now. Grand Nationals, let's get you in the water and turned around right now. Once again, spectators, fans, we need to keep the fire lane clear. So no trucks, nothing parked against the fence. Just park in the dirt area or park up top, please. Grand Nationals are cleared to go in the water. Grand Nationals are cleared to go in the water. All right, Grand Nationals. As soon as you hit the water will be yours. As we're one more class to practice, and then we're getting ready to start the 70th annual Thanksgiving Regatta, the Mark Junker Memorial Race. So Grand Nationals, you can fire and go. You can fire and go. All right, so on the water right now, we got the Grand Nationals for their last practice. A-Stock Hydro, let's get you at the water line right now. A-Stock Hydros, let's get you to the water line right now. Oh, Gavin scratched. He couldn't find. He's scared? All right. All right, A-Stock Hydro, let's get you to the water line right now. Classic Endurance, start heading to the ramps. Classic Endurance, start heading to the ramps. GPS 100, you'll be up, or you should be warming motors right after Classic Endurance. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome you to the 2016 Blue Water Resort and Casino, the 70th annual Thanksgiving Regatta, the Mark Junker Memorial Race. Southern California Speedboat Club welcomes all our fans, both here and on the World Wide Web, to 70 years of running powerboat races right here at the beautiful Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona. This weekend's event is sponsored by Nick Rose Insurance, home, auto, life, and commercial. Nick Rose and his team, his fantastic team at Nick Rose Insurance can take care of all your needs. Ecology Auto Parts, Amsoil Twins, Rex Marine, Jet Renew, and the family of polishes and cleaning products, and hotboat.com. Will you please rise and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem?
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rugged red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, let's get ready to go racing. A-Stock Hydro, you should be in the water turned around right now. A-Stock Hydro, this will be your first call as we get ready to go racing for the 70th annual Thanksgiving Regatta, presented by Nick Rose Insurance. This is the Mark Yunker Memorial Award. Let's go, A-Stock Hydros. Turn them around. Let's get them in right now. You ready? Brian, you ready? All right, A-Stock Hydro, the next sound you hear is your 3-minute gun. So we had 4 competitors. One has dropped out. So we have Casey Jones in the 72, Amsoil Twins out of Newberry Springs, California, Wesley Gildart out of Phelan, California in the 477, and Maureen Girth in the 23 out of San Diego, California. The Disc Flow Bit Pros Fire Services sponsored entry. She'll be the one with the really hard numbers to read. But everybody else will be able to see the 477 and the 72. One's dead in the first turn. Fantastic. This is the way my day's going. He's never going to be able to start it. He's too deep in the water. Might as well. No way. If he gets a start, I'll be amazed.
What do you want to do?
Then we do a black flag. Try to get out here.
Flag. They come around and go for black flag.
Black flag. We'll go around right there. All right, Larry, go get him. Oh, that's a bad deal for Casey Jones.
You want black flag it? 42.
Just remember, one of the heats just has to have 3. One of the heats just has 3 votes. So the next heat is votes. I like that. So we're gonna have a grudge match as Casey Jones, unfortunately, is unless he gets it fired, is gonna be relegated to watching this heat. So Maureen Girth gonna be very early. Ay, 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 here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. She jumped the gun. Well, whoever was on the radio with her might have told her to slow down for a second. Just for a second. Because that's all she jumped by was 1 second. Unfortunately, we're going to have to black flag this heat right now because we have only one legal boat. Oh, well.
Actually, you don't have any left.
Why he went,
She crossed over.
he cut across the front,
That
yeah.
one crossed over into the one.
So we're going to send them back in and We're going to see what happens if Casey can make it in. So we're going to move on. Classic Endurance, you should be in the water right now. Classic Endurance, you should be in, followed by GPS 100. We're going to probably let the Classic Endurance and then the GPS 100s go, and then run the A Stock Hydro rerun. No, we're going to run after a couple heats. Yeah. Well, it actually showed them back to back, but I'm not going to do that. It'll take too long. All right. Classic Endurance, you should be in the water. I don't know why you're not in the water yet. We've been calling you to the ramp. So get them in the water, Classic Endurance. GPS 100, you're following Classic Endurance. All right, Classic Endurance. We've got out of Pinion Hills, California. This is Jim Best, the patriarch of the Best Racing Team. In the 145, driving for Jim Best is Skip Ewing. In the 142, it's brother Jeff Best. After the Classic Endurances. Jeff Best in the 142. Robert Deckers in the 76. Brian Neal driving for Terry Valori in the 21. And Toby Clark driving for Roger Finney in the 288. Drivers, remember, you're going around on the second go-around before you start. You're going to go around the far yellow, orange buoy. Outside boat, you're keying up on the outside boat first. All right, Classic Endurance. Water's yours. Let's go, drivers. The water's yours. All right, Spot's right. We got 6 boats on the water. Actually, 7. 6 boats on the water. All right, boats lining up now for the start. As all boats getting in position.
They haven't gotten their white flag yet.
All right, as we get ready, they're now under starters orders. Coming around. That's a commitment. All right, one more time. We're going to send them around, but this time they got to go. We're waiting for Robert Deckers to kill his motor so I can give the driver some instruction. Impromptu instruction. Because clearly they can't follow direction. All right, drivers, if you're under starter's orders, drivers, I need your attention. I need your attention on the water. When you're coming up for the start, you are to go around the far orange buoy as discussed. Not part of you going around the turn and the other part going around the far orange buoy. Everybody is to go around the far orange buoy leading up to the start. You're to key up on the outside boat, not the inside boat. We've discussed this ad nauseum at the drivers' meetings. If you can't line up, we'll black flag the heat and move on. You're going to get one time now. One more time to go around. So line up together, go around the far buoy, come up side by side by the end exit pin to turn 2. We will give you the flag if you're lined up. If not, we'll black flag the heat and we'll move on. That's it. White flag is coming out. Line up now. Let's go. All right. After the conclusion of this prolonged classic endurance heat, we're going to go with GPS 100. Orange boat that has not fired. If you do not fire by the time they reach the turn, you will wait and drop in after the last boat comes by. You still have some time, but you will not cut the course. All right, now they're listening to us. Here we go. Under starters orders, flag is up. As soon as he catches them, Brian, hit him. Oh. All right, we had All right, here we go. Finally, we're underway. And the 21 of Brian Neal. Rock it out. This is an 80.999 mile an hour class. So this is classic endurance. They cannot go over 80 miles an hour. Otherwise, they will be disqualified. Robert Decker is your leader. The 142, I believe, looks like it's Jeff Best. Then Brian Neal in the 21. So the 288 having a problem. Did not make the start. The 141 in the second spot. That's Skip Ewing. Then Brian Neal. Then the 145 of Jim Best. And then brother Jeff Best in the fifth spot. So coming in right now, hand up, is Brian Neal in the 21. So it's all Robert Deckers on the back straightaway. This is a 4-lap sprint. GPS 100, you need to be in the water, and then A stock hydro. GPS 100, let's get you in the water, followed by A stock hydro. Followed by CompJet. CompJets, you'll be up right after the A-Stock Hydro. So it's all Robert Deckers out of Ojai, California in the 76 boat. But right on his heels on the inside, it's the 141 of Skip Ewing. 142 comes around to pick up lap 2. As the white flag gets ready to come out, 1 lap to go. So here goes Skip Ewing making a move. So Skip Ewing and Robert Deckers. All right, as they come down the straightaway. White flag flies. Jim Best in the 145. And brother Jeff Best. But here's the battle for the win as they come around the turn. Skip Ewing on the inside, Robert Deckers on the outside. They swing wide. It's going to be a race to the pin. Skip Ewing just able to narrowly edge out Robert Deckers for the win in Classic Endurance. Heat number 1. GPS 100 is next. GPS 100 is next. So GPS 100, you should be in the water, turned around, ready to go. All right, flat bottom drivers, all drivers, you don't need to make a parade lap after you get the black flag. You are cleared to come back to the pits. As soon as you receive the black flag, you are cleared to come back to the pits. As soon as you receive the checkered flag, you can safely come back to the pits. You can safely come back to the pits. You do not need to go on a parade lap. All flat bottom and inboard drivers, you do not need to go for a parade lap after the checkered flag. Thank you. GPS 100, let's turn and hold, turn them and hold. We're getting ready to start your heat. Spectator boats coming through right now. Yates. Mark Yates, Blue Water Sound. If you can see Chad Christensen at the far ramp area, the far ramp, the one closest to the RV park. Mark Yates, Blue Water Sound.
Water's good.
All right, GPS 100. Water's yours. GPS 100, water is yours. All right, the GPS 100 class is exactly as it sounds. GPS top speed of 100.999 miles per hour. Jimmy Lewis driving the 38. Fred Hart driving the 777. And Mike Stock driving the 333. Mike Stock coming from Boise, Idaho. Fred Hart from Lake Havasu City, and Jimmy Lewis, also out of Lake Havasu, the owner Jim Mobley, out of Paramount, California. Comp Jets and then Sportsman Extreme. Comp Jets start heading to the ramp. Comp Jets start into the ramp. A-Stock Hydro, you'll be up right after this GPS 100. So A-Stock Hydro, let's get them to the water line and turn them around. As soon as the water settles after this heat, you will be up. A-Stock Hydro, you will be up right after the water settles for the next heat of GPS 100. Compjets, SEs, then Crackerbox. Compjets, SEs, then Crackerbox will follow the A-Stock Hydros. So Compjets start making your way to the ramp. SEs start warming your motors. And Crackerboxes, you do the same. Mike Stock in the 333, the boat Omona, owned by Duff Daly, driven by Mike Stock. Second is Jim Lewis in the 38, out of Paramount, California, driving for Jim Mobley. And the GPS 100 of the 777, Jay Hart and Fred Hart. Fred doing the driving. The owner, Jay and Beth Hart. Point of no return. The driver is Fred Hart. The owner is brother Jay and Beth Hart. Out of Lake Havasu City, Arizona. But right now it's all Mike Stock. Drivers can't go over 100.999 miles per hour. Dennis Dean, pick up your radio. Dennis Dean, pick up your radio. It's the only boat coming in from this heat, coming to your ramp. Checkered flag flies, Mike Stock. Second's going to go to Jimmy Lewis, driving for Jim Mobley. And then the point of no return, the ASK 777, owner Jay and Beth Hart, driver Fred Hart, out of Lake Havasu City, Arizona, in the Levy craft will finish in the third spot. With the sponsors of the 777, Fred and Mary Hart, Ryan Wooten, JD Machine, and of course, Visa and MasterCard. Thank you. With special thanks to Fred Hart and Jay's wife, Beth. And all the men and women in the armed services. While we let the water settle, we want to invite you up here to the cantina, grab something to eat, some hot breakfast burrito, or they're serving hot dogs, hamburgers, and all sorts of great lunch specials. Also, see lovely Wanda and lovely Melissa at the SCSE apparel table, where we have souvenir t-shirts, hats, long sleeve and short sleeve this year. We've got cups and koozies and other great souvenirs from the Southern California Speedboat Club, marking 70 years of racing right here at the Thanksgiving Regatta. This is also the Mark Winter Memorial Race. So coming up next, we're going to slow things down a little bit with the A-Stock Hydros, and then we're going to go right back into it with the Comp Jets, followed by the SEs, the Sportsman Extreme, and then the Cracker Boxes, followed by Pro Stock, then the Grand Nationals, or actually Pro Stock, then SST 45, then the Grand Nationals. All right, water's good. A-Stock Hydro. This is the next sound you hear is your 3-minute gun. 3 minutes, drivers. 3 minutes. No, what was it? As we get ready for the start, 30 seconds to the start. White flag is out. Oh no, not again for Casey. Oh, he's got it fired. He's Ladies and gentlemen, I think she's going to be legal. She is. She's legal, and she's your leader. Maureen Girth comes across the line. Wesley Gildart in the second spot in the 777. But here comes Casey Jones in the 72 on the hip. So Wesley on the outside, Casey on the inside, and Casey now in the second spot. So Maureen Girth, your leader, by a good margin right now. But here comes Casey. Casey Jones on the back straightaway from Newberry Springs, California. Your local AMSOIL dealer. He and his brother Andy Jones, the AMSOIL representatives to the boat racing world and other racing areas. But Maureen, your leader, with one lap complete. Casey Jones now on the same straightaway as Maureen. All right. Coming up next, Comp Jets. You should be at the water line right now. Actually, you should be in the water and turned around, Comp Jets. This will be your first qualifier. Remember, the Comp Jets are running for the Mark Junker Memorial Cup. So they're heading out to the water right now. SE, the Sportsman Extreme Boats, you should be heading to the ramp. SEs, you should be heading to the ramp. Comp Jets, you should be at the ramp and in the water. Let's go, Comp Jets, in the water and turn them around. Comp Jets, watch the starter's orders. Watch the starter's orders. You're lining up on the outside boat, Comp Jets. You're lining up on the outside boat, and you must go around the single orange buoy down by Headgate Dam. White flag for Maureen Girth in the disc flow. Bit Pros Fire Services sponsored entry out of San Diego, California. But here comes Casey. Uh-oh. Casey's slowing down a little. He must think he's on the checkered flag. Nope. He's back on it. All right. And Wesley Gildart. No, he is coming in. He came in on the white flag instead of the checkered flag, unless he's having motor problems. So Wesley Gildart now in second spot as Casey Jones is now being turned around and told to keep going as they're firing him back up. But it's too late. He's come into the pits, so that's it for Casey. Casey will be DQ'd. So checkered flag flies, make some noise. Girl power, Maureen Girth. Our 14-year-old from San Diego, California, takes the checkered flag. And Casey Jones, even coming into the pits, is able to pull up side by side with Wesley Gildart. But to no avail, Wesley will take the second spot as Casey will be DQ'd for coming into the pits and then going back out during the race. So while Casey may come around and technically cross the start-finish line before Wesley, Wesley still gets credited with the second place finish as Casey made a boo-boo. He came in during the race and then went back out, and you can't do that. Endurance racing you can, but not in sportsman stock limited hydroplane racing. So that's the end of that heat. Comp Jets.
Course is clear.
Negative. Hold him one more heat. Comp Jets. Water's yours. Let's give you the lineup today for the Comp Jets. Ron Lund on the 60 boat, driving for Cheryl Dickey out of Aguilla, Arizona. Harold Bruce, the legend, driving for Kendall and Kelsey Yunker out of Sun City, California in Mark Yunker's boat. That's the 169. In the 222, Harold Bruce Jr., driving for Terry Valori out of West Covina, California. Out of Lake Havasu City, driving for Roger Finney is Toby Clark in the 288. Valley Center, the 511, Ron Lund, the owner, Vance Lund, the driver. Out of Lakewood, California, driving for Terry Valori and Ken Neal in the 21, it's Brian Neal. Give him a wave, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a wave. And the 72, Amanda Rich, driving for Jim Rich out of Mojave Valley, California. So this will be Comp Jet heat number 1. Let's keep an eye on them as they're going to be under starters' orders. We get ready. They're under starters orders right now. So Harold Bruce, lane 1 in the 169. That's 511 of Vance Lund. Lane 2, the Wild Engine, that's Roger Finney, the owner, Toby Clark in lane 3 as they come around, as they get ready to go around. That's the starting buoy. The boats are fanning out. There we go as we get ready. Harold Bruce on the inside. We are racing. Here we go. There's Harold Bruce on the inside, but it is Toby Clark on the outside with the lead. Here we come down the straightaway. Harold Bruce powering it down the front straightaway on the California side. Vance Lund in third. Toby Clark, your leader right now, but it's Harold Bruce in the second spot. The fourth spot is Brian Neal driving for Terry Valori. Harold now on the inside. So we got a great race between Harold Bruce and the wild engine of Toby Clark, the 5'11", of Vance Lund, and the 21 of Brian Neal. Then the 222 of Harold Bruce Jr. and the 60 of Ron Lund. And then Amanda Rich driving for Jim and Donna Rich. But it's all Harold Bruce, and on the outside is Toby Clark. So Toby still hanging on that lead by a hair. But here comes Harold Bruce as he makes his way around the turn, and now it's hammered down the front straightaway. Toby Clark, your leader, out of Lake Havasu, Arizona. Harold Bruce in the second spot. Vance Lund in the third spot. The fourth is the 21 of Brian Neal, and the fifth, we got a battle between the fifth and the sixth. Right now, hanging on is Harold Bruce Jr., but here comes Ron Lund. Amanda Rich rounding the turn, coming down the front straightaway on the Arizona side. 4-lap sprint heat. Harold Bruce falling back, so Harold Bruce may be having a problem because Vance Lund able to go around and power on the outside. White flag flies. 1 lap to go as Vance Lund in the second spot, Harold Bruce in the third spot. So Harold Bruce dropping 2 positions, actually 1 position after the start of the race, back to the third spot. Vance Lund doing a tremendous job in the second spot. So here we go for the win. Checkered flag flies. Toby Clark takes the win, driving for Roger Finney out of Lake Havasu City. Second, Vance Lund. Third, Harold Bruce. Fourth, coming around, will be the 21 of Brian Neal, driving for Terry Valori and Ken Neal. As the 60 is able to narrowly hold off of Ron Lund, is able to beat the 222 of Harold Bruce Jr. So coming around to finish the race will be Amanda Rich as she rounds the turn. So wow, that was a great first heat for the Mark Junker Memorial. Heat number 1, as Amanda Rich will come through and finish. And now the heat is completely in the books. Qualifier number 1 is in the books. All right. We'll let people. So great race action, Comp Jet heat number 1. But coming up next, some more great racing with another full class, Sportsman Extreme. This is small block Chevrolet cast iron motors, stock blocks, powering a 16-foot flat bottom. This is not it, however, on the water. That is not an SE. That is one of our great spectator boats that's going out there. Technically, it's a jet ski on training wheels, but it's okay. It's all good. We have no problems. But coming up next, the SEs, followed by the Cracker Boxes. Then we'll do the Pro Stocks, the Grand Nationals.
Why don't we squeeze the A's in? Talk about why don't we try to squeeze it in?
Tension in the pits, tension in the pits. Looking for some white duct tape for one of our rookies. If you can bring it over to boat number 111, it's about midway through the pits. All black boat. It's an all black pro stock. If you can. Oh, you got some right there.
How do you direct? You want me to bring my helmet over? To
Just make a.
just like
We got the duct tape issue handled for our rookie, but coming up next, we got the SEs. You should be in the water. SEs, as soon as the comp jet's clear, the ramp, let's get you in and turned around. So comp jets, let's get you out of the ramp area as soon as possible so the SEs can get in. The Sportsman Extreme runabouts. All right, if we can get the 222 to clear the ramp, we'd appreciate it. So we can get the rest of the boats in. After the SEs, we're going to squeeze in the final heat of A-Stock Hydro. Then we'll go with Cracker Box. We'll let the ramp clear after the SEs. After the SEs finish, we'll finish our last heat of our Sportsman stock outboard for the day. And then it's all inboard powered with the exception of the SST 45s. Mm-hmm. Jay Hart's driving the 56. Yeah. Well, oh, it's Jay or John? Jay is driving. Okay, so Jay Hart. All right, here we go. And who's the owner of the 717? LT Trucking? Or is that a sponsor? Let's give you the lineup for the SEs as they get in the water. Turned around, it looks like we've got them all ready to go. Is that it? Brian, are we good? SEs, the next sound you hear, water's yours. Let's give you the lineup as they're warming up. In the 717, the boat called Barely Wet. It's an all black. Biesmeyer, LT Racing, crew chief Phil Bergeron out of Mesa, Arizona. The driver, Timmy Hoffman. Sponsors are ATEC, Bergeron Marine, H&H Contract, and Frederick & Son Air Conditioning. Next up, we have the 151 of Mike Przynski out of Hemet, California. Then the 177 out of Mesa, Arizona, Jimmy Lewis, the driver, Gary Kohler, the owner. The 56 out of West Covina, Paul Grishar, the owner, Jay Hart, the driver. And the 426 out of Castella, California, Lance Nichols. Out of Stewart, Florida, the owner and driver, Duff Daly, the boat called Slowpoke. So Przynski is current overall points leader, but Duff Daly is in the second spot for the High Point Championship. So we got a great battle this weekend at the 70th Annual Thanksgiving Regatta presented by Nick Rose Insurance. White flag, 1 lap till the start. As we are under starters orders, they'll come around. Remember, A-Stock Hydros, I want you at the water line. Right after this heat, you're up. We're going to let the water settle for you, and then you're up. Then it'll be Cracker Box, Pro Stock, then the Grand Nationals, SST 45s, then the Grand Nationals, followed by the K-Racing Runabouts, and then we have a classic hydroplane exhibition coming out. We are under starters orders. Flag is up as they're coming up the front straightaway. They look lined up. Flag has dropped. We are racing. Can't be better than this. Side by side race action. As they go into turn 1. Looks like the 56. Followed by the 151 of Mike Przynski. So Duff Daly, your leader, out of Stewart, Florida, then the 56 in the second spot, JR. Mike Przynski in the third spot, the 426, Lance Nichols in the fourth spot, Timmy Hoffman in the fifth spot, and rounding out the field is Jimmy Lewis. So this is a 4-lap sprint, small block Chevrolet, stock powered, as Duff Daly, who you'll see later today in the K-Racing Runabout, pulling away from the field. Second place, Jay Hart. Third place, Mike Przynski. Fourth place, the 717, Timmy Hoffman. Fifth place is Lance Nichols, then Jimmy Lewis. So 3 laps about to be complete. Next time by for Duff Daly. But it's not over. Battle for second, third, and fourth. Duff Daly, your leader. The 56 from West Covina, California. Paul Grishard. Jay Hart out of Havasu, the driver. Mike Brzezinski in the 4th spot. Timmy Hoffman in the 5th spot. So the battle is for 6th place as Jimmy Lewis and Lance Nichols battle for that final position. With the 177 now edging out the 426. Checkered flag flies. Duff Daly, the 56, in the 2nd spot of Jay Hart. Here we go. Mike Brzezinski able to hold off Tim Hoffman. Tim's return to flat bottom racing after a more than 10-year hiatus. Tim used to race Superstock under the Superstock Racing Association over 10 years ago, so it's been a while since we've seen Timmy Hoffman out on the water. Glad to see him back. The 426, that's Lance Nichols coming from Castaic, California. So that was the first heat of SEs. So right before we get started with the cracker boxes, A-Stock Hydros, we're going to let the water settle a minute. We're going to finish your final heat of the day, and then we'll go into cracker boxes, followed by Pro Stock. So Cracker Box Pro, then Pro Stock, then Grand National, then SST 45, then Grand National. Then the K Racing runabouts, and then we'll have a quick intermission and come back with the final. While we're letting the water settle, we want to tell you about upcoming events. We'll be back here. The Southern California Speedboat Club will return next spring, 2017, last weekend in March, 26th, 27th, I believe. We'll be here at the Blue Water Resort and Casino for the Spring Classic. We hope you're enjoying the 70th Annual Thanksgiving Regatta, the Mark Yunker Memorial Award, presented by Nick Rose Insurance, AMSOIL, Hotboat.com, Ecology, Traffic Aid, Barricade Services, and Jet Renew. So Water almost optimum for the A-Stock Hydros. Not quite there yet. But we want to remind you that souvenir T-shirts are being sold here at the River's Edge Cantina patio area. They are limited quantities. Also, if you are going to be in the pits with a race team, you have to come up and sign the waiver and get the wristband. It costs you nothing, but we absolutely need you to do that. So if you're going to be in the pit area, we need you to come up, sign the waiver, get the wristband, and then you're welcome. There's no alcohol in the pit area. There is alcohol on the beach area, but not in the actual pits where the boats are being worked on or the launch ramp area. No, well, we can check it. I wouldn't mind knowing what it is. 82-1, perfect. Thank you.
Water's good.
Yeah.
Water's good.
So A-Stock Hydro, here we go. Next sound you hear. Trisha, next sound you hear. A-Stock Hydro, next sound you hear. 3 minutes. All right, A-Stock Hydro. This is our A Sportsman stock hydroplane. So A Sportsman stock hydroplane. Casey Jones in the 72 out of Newberry Springs. Wesley Gildart in the 477 out of Phelan, California. And then Maureen Girth in the 23, the Disc Flow sponsored entry. Bit Pros. We believe it's number 23. We believe it's number 23. We're not sure. We're getting out our binoculars to make sure that that's the number. So 1 minute to the start. This is a flying start, also known as the clock start, as opposed to the flag start. So the start will be determined by the clock and the boats reaching these two white buoys, one right here in front of us and one out in the middle of the lake or the river. With 36 seconds left, Casey Jones wants to get a real good run at the start. Everybody else coming up very slow. The whole goal is to have the boat flying and hit the start right where the clock reaches 0. Our young drivers, as Casey knows what's going on, here he comes up and he knows he better hammer it. He's going to come right through him. 5, 4, slows down a little. Shouldn't have slowed down. Would have had an easy. So Maureen Girth over the line first, followed by Casey Jones, then Wesley Gildart. So the battle for first place, Casey on the outside, Maureen on the inside in the gray boat. We're not sure of her numbers. We can't really see them. But the 72 on the outside as the Disc Flow Bit Pros sponsored entry, which is really big. You can see those a mile away. Even the Mercury sticker is like huge, but that's okay. We got her. As Maureen Girth doing a tremendous job out there. Casey Jones on the outside, Maureen on the inside. We've got a battle down the front straightaway for first place. What a great race. For the final, Casey just edging her out on the outside by just about a boat length. But Maureen has the better way around the course. She's got the inside line. Wesley Gildart. That's a copy of an old shovel nose hydroplane. So that boat is a new boat, but that's a copy of a very old design. And one of the issues is in making that boat fly in comparison with the new hydroplane designs that both Maureen Girth and Casey Jones employ with their hydros. So Maureen has a little more mid-range as she starts catching Casey and pulls up to him right about the turn. Casey has a little more bottom end coming out of the turn, but Maureen making a move. Let's see if she can hold him off. And this is only a 3-lap sprint as opposed to the 4 sprints that the inboards are doing today. So now Casey on the outside still, but Maureen has the lead. So Maureen Girth out of the turn with the lead. Side by side, drivers again looking at each other. Drivers on their knees, one hand on the throttle, one hand on the steering wheel. Weight so critical, 335 pounds, boat motor and driver. As they go into the turn, she'll lean over the side of the boat, help that boat navigate around the turn. Get to the back of the boat, down the straightaway, try to get some air underneath, get some lift, as Casey does the same thing. So we're side by side. Casey just narrowly has him by just about a boat length. Now pulling away a little bit, but this is the final turn for their final heat today. As we get ready, crackers, you should be in the water. Cracker boxes, you should be in the water, turned around, ready to go. Let's go, crackers. Casey Jones able to make the move and cross over. Maureen now has to move out, but Casey's going to take the checkered flag by about 3 boat lengths. Maureen Girth in the Disc Flow Bit Pros Fire Services sponsored entry in the second spot. So Team Amsoil wins the final heat for A-Stock Hydro. We think that number was 23 in the second spot. We're not sure. Oh, I've just got confirmation. We do know it is 23. Thank you. Thank you, scorers, for your hard work today. You really got your work cut out for you. And Wesley Gildart giving the thumbs up, coming around, taking the checkered flag. He's done for the day. And he'll take third place. Coming up next, Cracker Box Pro. Let's get him in the water, gentlemen. This will be a... What do we decide on that? 5 minutes? 4 minutes? 4 minutes. Yeah, it's 4 minutes. You gotta go -1. You gotta go 5 -1. Yeah. Yep. I just want to do a 5 minute. Easier to do a 5 minute. All right. It will be a 5-minute gun. 5-minute gun. Cracker boxes. You will get a 5-minute gun. Cracker boxes. 5-minute gun. All right. As soon as the 244 goes in. Oh. All right. We'll give you the lineup. Here we go, crackers. 5 minutes. Water's yours. Four crackers making this heat. We got the 94, Miss High Maintenance, Donald Deutsch, Justin D'Alessandro. The owners, Chuck and Jeannie Deutsch. Jeff Deutsch, the crew chief out of North Hills, California. That's a Ford-powered small block Chevrolet, or actually a Ford-powered small block. Deutsch Heating and Air Conditioning, Nick Rose Insurance, A&G Lumber, and QMP Racing Motors. In the 244, the wild card, Brett Marshall, Corey O'Neill. Crew chief, Corey O'Neill out of Las Vegas, Nevada. It's a Patterson Glass Cracker Box, 3rd edition. The 314 Chevrolet Rebel Oil and Fastline Racing. Coming up next to the ramp should be Pro Stock. Pro Stock, then SST 45. Pro Stock, then SST 45. And the 55, the California Cracker. Mark Conave, the owner, Dave Laws. And Zervenka, the rider. It's a wrap hole, 310 cubic inch. Wilkes Marine Empire Property Management, Jerry Ross Racing Engines. This was your defending champion in the 55. And our last boat out of Long Beach, California, it's Matt Bookie and Eric Salmons driving for Glenn Madden out of Las Vegas, Nevada. So this is 3 minutes to the start. Cracker Boxes, one of the oldest classes racing with inboard power in its original configuration, where the motor in front of both the driver and the rider, also having the riding mechanic sitting there next to the driver. Oh! So both